Faith renewed in the Grand Bahama economy by a local financial institution. A local doctor suspecting arson to his property. And in the middle, set to return to the big stage this weekend.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll-Parkinson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, a financial institution in the Grand Bahama community following through on a commitment to the people of Grand Bahama. The Grand Bahama Cooperative Credit Union has opened a second branch in the Port Lakai Marketplace, all in an effort to provide more services to their members. On Wednesday evening, a grand celebration was held. Italia Hall was there.
Government officials, members of the credit union, employees, and persons throughout the community were all in attendance to witness the momentous occasion. Treasurer of the Grand Bahama Cooperative Credit Union, John Sands Jr., sharing some of the company's statistics to date, noting that the organization was one of the first credit unions to be established outside of New Providence some 38 years ago.
The Grand Bahama Cooperative Credit Union has been successful in increasing its assets from a very humble and modest beginning to where it stands today at $20 million. And we've increased our member owners from that small beginning to numbering now some 2,750. So we're very pleased with that.
Secretary of the Bahamas Cooperative League, Walter Evans, says to date, the financial institution has the lowest delinquency rate out of all the credit unions in the Bahamas.
Grand Bahamas Credit Union has a delinquency of less than 1%, which is far below the standards. And so each month as we sit at the Cooperative Credit Union in Nassau, the parent body for credit unions in our country, we always marvel at the fact that how Grand Bahama is able to do it, despite the fact that some say that the economy is sluggish. They are doing an exceptional job.
Keynote speaker, Deputy Prime Minister K. Peter Turnquest, commending the credit union for their commitment to the community, noting that the credit union offers the same services as commercial banks.
This is one of a few new businesses added over the past few months. I think I've been here 3 times this month alone. You know, I said on another occasion that if y'all are not careful, y'all are going to shape this reputation that Grand Bahama has as being in the doldrums, the poster child for failure, where people go to lose their money. Grand Bahama is picking up.
He says this new move by the credit union indicates that they have some visionary leaders, applauding them for taking the challenge to open a branch in the Port Lakai Marketplace, knowing the condition of the Grand Lucayan Resort property that is just across the street. He says this is all a part of why the government made the decision to purchase the hotel.
To leave it dormant or stagnant will mean continued hardship in Grand Bahama. The action that the government has taken will give all of us Grand Bahamians an opportunity for economic growth.
Following the ceremony, the celebration continued with a Junkanoo rush out. Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, details of the government's plan to fix Grand Bahama's economy was revealed in Parliament by the Marco City MPs during his contribution on a resolution for the government to purchase the Grand Lucayan Resort. Sabrina Brown reports.
The government's decision to purchase the Grand Lucayan Resort is said to be a major move in reviving the island's economy. Member of Parliament for Marco City, Michael Pintard, says they are aware that this will not fix all of Grand Bahama's problems, and he says the government is focused on other areas as well. He says lowering landing fees in order to increase airlift to this island is vital.
The pressure I feel is the pressure that we have as a government to help lower the cost of landing in Grand Bahama. It is entirely too expensive to land in Grand Bahama. It is often less expensive to fly past Grand Bahama to other places in the region. And this is a mission that this administration has accepted, and it is a discussion that we are now engaged, and we are working in earnest to make a difference. So even with a hotel sold, we are under no illusion that that is a part of the macro plan to transform Grand Bahama.
He says the government is also working to lower the cost of electricity on Grand Bahama.
The discussion of renewable energy is alive, that there is a need both in Grand Bahama with a private company and in the rest of the Bahamas with BPL, that we look at self-generation as a means of helping our residents survive and thrive in this country.
As the government moves forward with the redevelopment of Grand Bahama, Pintard is encouraging residents to prepare themselves for the opportunities that lie ahead.
We hope that Bahamian entrepreneurs would step to the fore so that they are given more than serious consideration to acquire a piece of what dominates this economy, and that is a piece of the rock that they can own and run hotels, because truly we are as talented as anyone else anywhere else in the world.
He's calling on residents to keep the faith.
And even on days you don't have faith in me or my colleagues or the side opposite, at least have faith in God. Because when we fall short, whenever we fall short, God has the capacity to meet you at your darkest moment, in the loneliest of places, to stand in the gap, to be your shield and buckler.
Preach up in here, man.
And so we will do our best.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Thank you, Sabrina. Well, hundreds of thousands of dollars going up in smoke, and the owner of the property says arson is suspected. Tonight, a popular Freeport physician is making a plea for anyone with information regarding the recent fire to come forward. Jay Philippe has more.
For the second time this year, Dr. Rupai's property has been targeted. The popular physician says he came to his clinic as usual on Tuesday morning around 7 o'clock to open the doors of business. But upon his arrival, he could smell the smoke in the building and decided to inspect the property. He says that is when he found his storage facility to the rear of the clinic completely burned.
I am only presuming or assuming, but this was not the first fire. We had another fire somewhat earlier in which someone had tried to actually burn down the clinic. Again, the police have never found anyone who actually did it.
Dr. Rupai says that the fire resulted in the loss of over $300,000 in music and medical equipment.
We had, through the benefit of Bishop Godfrey R. Williams of Jubilee, a donation of $12,000 worth of medical equipment, and through Cleveland Clinic, they donated a lot of medical supplies to us, and they were stored in here. All the chairs were brand new, and I had just done some over $2,000 in renovations, music equipment, a 24-deck mixer for the sound in the building, and a huge speaker system. I meant to take it out myself the night before because I like to do music, and all of that was lost.
Dr. Rupai says he's puzzled as to why someone would intentionally try to target him or his property.
I am a generous person. As you know, in 2014, I gave to the poor and needy $1 million in cash. I've given over 20 cars to various individuals, and just a few weeks ago, I gave $26,000 at Shiloh Seventh-day Adventist Church, not to the church, but to people who attended in the parking lot. So I'm not aware of why anyone would intentionally set fire to my building.
Dr. Rupai said that this building right behind me was completely uninsured, and if anyone has any answers as to what would have happened Tuesday morning, please feel free to reach out to him. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Jay Philippe.
In news from the crime beat, a substantial amount of suspected marijuana discovered at the Grand Bahamas shipyard. Police tell us that officers of the Drug Enforcement Unit and officers of the Central Detective Unit were called to the Grand Bahamas shipyard around noon yesterday, where they discovered a metal container with 38 wrapped packages of suspected marijuana attached to the bottom of a cargo vessel. Now, the suspected marijuana weighed some 86 pounds with a street value of $86,000. No one was arrested and investigations are continuing. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after this break.